Good Shabbos. Hope everyone's having a nice start to summer. Wherever you may be, I hope you can always tune in and to learn some Torah. I hope you're learning Torah wherever you are, but I definitely hope you're still able to tune in and listen a little bit. In this week's Parsha, in Chukat Balak, the mitzvah of Egel Zahav comes up. And every time we get to the topic of Egel Zahav, I can't avoid but teaching a midrash that I think about weekly. It's a bit of a tangent off of this week's Parsha. Nonetheless, I think it's an extremely deep midrash and worth bringing up. So on the topic of Egel Zahav, there's a Minister of Kahana. The Minister of Kahana was written about in the 4th century, and he has a deep midrash on actually what occurred in terms of Moshe finding out about the halacha of Egel Zahav. So he brings up the idea of when Moshe went up to Shemayim to go get the luchot, to go get the tablets from Hashem. He got all the way up there, and he sees Hashem, the midrash says. And the Minister of Kahana says, and I'll read to you, it says, B'sha'a she'ala lishmei maro, shema kolo shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So when Moshe went up to Shemayim, he heard the voice of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yoshev ve'osek beParshat Para ve'omer halacha mishem omer. What's Hashem doing when he gets up there, when Moshe sees Hashem? It's a kind of almost like walking in on someone without knocking. And what's Hashem doing when he just walks into the room without knocking? Hashem's learning Torah. What's he learning? He's learning about the halacha of Para Aduma. And not only that, Hashem's quoting the halacha of Para Aduma. What does Hashem say? Rabbi Eliezer Omer, Egla bat shnata upara bat shtayim. He says the halachic minimum age of the Para Aduma, an Egel, has to be 1, and the Para has to be 2. It's like a really weird circumstance that's happening here. And then Moshe says to Hashem, Ribon Alomim ha'elyonim v'tachtonim, birshutcha, with your permission, Hashem, Atay Yoshev ve'omer halacha mishem shal basar v'dam, saying, Hashem, why do we learn Torah? What's the purpose of mankind learning Torah? To get closer to you. The reason we spend so much money sending our sons and daughters to private school, right, Jewish school, is because we're trying to figure out ways to get closer to God. And one of the best ways, probably the best way, is learning the Torah, what Hashem wrote for us. He says, that's why we learn Torah, so we can get closer to you. But Moshe's question to Hashem is, why are you learning Torah? So you can get closer to you? That doesn't sound right. What's the point of you learning Torah? That's Moshe's first question. But let me add on a second question to this. Is, if you look at that, at Hashem's quotation there, of the Gemara he's reading of Rabbi Eliezer, right? It says the Gemara in Siddur Tarot Masechet Para, it says Rabbi Eliezer Omer Egla Bashnatao Para Bat Shtayim. Rabbi Eliezer says the eligible ages are 1 and 2 for the Egel Zahav. The Chachamim Omrim, but the Chachamim say Egla Bat Shtayim Upara Bat Shalosh. The Chachamim say the legal age for it to be considered a para is 2 and 3. That's the machloket in the Gemara, and we always know what halacha do we follow when it's 1 versus many. We always follow majority. Acharei rabim lahatot, as we learned. So it's not only that Hashem's quoting the halacha, he's quoting a halacha we don't follow halachically, which is super bizarre. Rabbi Eliezer, who's the single person in this story, isn't the halacha that we follow. This whole circumstance is weird. But at the very least, if Hashem was going to quote the Torah, at least quote the halacha we follow, and he's not even doing that, which makes this whole midrash, I don't know if weird is the right word, but makes it a little bit even more odd than it initially was, which it was already pretty odd. So, let's finish off the midrash. Amar lo HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, Moshe, Tzaddik echad ati la'amod be'olami. There's going to be a very righteous person, a tzaddik, that's going to be in our world. Ve'ati liftoch beParshat Paratchila, and he's going to discuss this halacha of Parshat Para Aduma. And then he quotes again, Rabbi Eliezer Omer, Egla bat shnato, Para bat shtayim. And this person is going to be Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbi Eliezer, the famous Rabbi Eliezer in the Gemara, the Rabbi Eliezer that we know from the story of where he made all the miracles happen when he got an argument about an oven with Chachamim again, and he said, if I'm right, the river is going to switch streams, and it happened. If I'm right, the carob tree is going to move 100 amma to 400 amma, and that happened. And the Chachamim kept on answering him, these things, these miracles you're making still don't determine halacha. Clearly Hashem agreed with Rabbi Eliezer in that case. And they finished off that Gemara saying, Lo b'shamayim hi. The Chachamim said to Rabbi Eliezer, halacha has to be determined down here in this world, not in the heavens. We can't rely, in an age where there's no more prophecy, on relying on God for all of these answers. And we don't follow Rabbi Eliezer there. In fact, at the end of the story, he gets sent to Cherem. He gets excommunicated because he was stuck to his gun so much. And if you pay attention through all of the Gemara, really, we never follow Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbi Eliezer is always taking on majority. He's always against Chachamim. And we never quote Rabbi Eliezer for the actual halacha that we keep. So what's this obsession that Hashem has with Rabbi Eliezer, saying he's a tzaddik? He's going to be the best person of his generation, maybe. And here Moshe's response to him when Hashem says there's going to be a tzaddik in this world named Rabbi Eliezer. There's clearly a lot of gray area here where we need to read in between the lines. Moshe says, Moshe says, Ribon ha'olamim yehi ratzon she'em mechalatzai. Please, Hashem, make him part of my lineage. Make it that Rabbi Eliezer comes from the dynasty of Moshe Rabbeinu. What a weird but amazing medrash. Why is Hashem quoting Rabbi Eliezer? And the answer is, as the Rav Kahana would say, kipshuto. We have an idea, we have a false narrative, that being right means everyone following you. That an argument, if people don't follow your side of that argument, you weren't on the right side. Hashem's point, Rabbi Eliezer stands in the face of that. He's always wrong, yet he keeps on coming back. Why? Because Rabbi Eliezer's emet, his truth, is learning Torah and doing his best to teach the right Torah, even if people don't want to follow him. This is a bit deep, and I might not be conveying the message appropriately, but to understand who Rabbi Eliezer is. Rabbi Eliezer, in our world down here, no one follows halachically. But as Rabbi Lieberman says, Bashamayim in the heavens, they all follow Rabbi Eliezer. Hashem is quoting Rabbi Eliezer. Here's a guy who has every reason to say, I'm done giving halacha, no one listens to me. But that's not the purpose of Rabbi Eliezer's living. Rabbi Eliezer's purpose is to serve God and to do his best to translate Torah as its truth. And he does that over and over. And if we don't follow him, that's not his objective. That's not his agenda, is that everyone should follow Rabbi Eliezer. It's that people should know truth. And if they follow me, great. If they don't, great. I'm still going to go out there and teach Torah daily. All this from the mitzvah Egel HaZahav. Finally, this is a little dessert to the Dvar Torah. The Rav Kahana, what I believe he's alluding to, is one of Moshe's children is actually Eliezer. And interesting enough, in the Parshat, when it says Moshe's children, it says V'shem ha'echad Gershom, V'shem ha'echad Eliezer. It says echad twice instead of saying echad b'sheni. So Rav Tzvi Huda Cook says, not echad from the number one, but echad milashon meyuchad, from the language of meyuchad, which means unique. Eliezer is unique. Moshe names Eliezer retroactively, almost as if, after Rabbi Eliezer, because he wants his son to be unique. He wants him not always to do what everyone else is doing or to follow the majority. whatever you believe is the truth, as long as l'shem shamayim and not breaking the Torah, it's for the sake of getting closer to God, do it. And we see that here in this midrash. I apologize for a little bit longer of a Dvar Torah and maybe slightly more confusing Dvar Torah. But if you didn't understand anything of what I said, because maybe I didn't portray correctly or clear enough, the lesson of this Dvar Torah is serve God to the way you believe you need to serve God. Be unique. Hashem wanted you to be unique, and be unique in your relationship with God. Also, there's many things we do together that we should do alike each other, but there has to be moments where we're unique, where Yagil's relationship or Ari's relationship, whoever it is, has to be unique and one with God, that he's seen no other like you in the world in terms of his relationship with you. May you all have an amazing Shabbos, an amazing Sabbath. Wish you all the best. Much love and miss you guys.